Jared Bernstein is a member of President Biden's Council of Economic Advisors. Thank you, sir, for waiting and being with us. So what does the White House make of it? What do you make of this number that suggests improvement, as the president said, but this low level of hiring of new jobs worrying?
Mm-hmm. So we view this jobs report as evidence of an ongoing strong job market with a great deal of momentum. Understandably, people will focus on 1 month, but even within the month, if you've already heard, you can get conflicting numbers. So in order to smooth out some of the bips and bops in the monthly data, we take a longer term view. If you look over the course of the year, now we have full data for 2021, 6.4 million jobs created last year. That's an historical record for a calendar year, and it's certainly a record for the first year of any presidency. As you mentioned, the unemployment rate at 3.9%, that's about 4 years before forecasters thought we were going to get to such a low rate, and it is also the fastest calendar year decline on record, going all the way back to the late 1940s. Add in the wage results, and what you have is a very strong, very welcoming job market reflecting some of the president's policies to get shots in arms and checks in pockets.
And if we look at the Omicron effect, if you will, it's too soon to really understand whether or not this has had a dramatic effect on the economy. Is it your gut feeling that whatever Omicron may have done to health, its economic effect is temporary?
I would say that is my gut feeling in the following sense. The job market that I just described, the idea that there are 11 million job openings and 6 million unemployed, that is, we have way more job openings than unemployed people. That's the sign of an extremely strong labor demand economy. That's a sign of real underlying momentum. Now, nobody's saying that Omicron won't have economic impact. I'm sure it will. We'll see. We're seeing spikes in cases, and oftentimes this has led to increased absences where people are out of work for a week or two, and that could certainly slow the labor market down in January, perhaps February. We don't know. We'll have to see. But what we do know is we have a very strong underlying labor market recovery that's been through various variants and taken all the Greek letters you want to throw at it before, and has kept on ticking, providing really solid labor market opportunities for the American working people.
You just said, you talked about the imbalance, if you will, between the number of jobs and the number of job seekers. Now, that can also lead to wage inflation, which we have seen something of. Do you worry that, I mean, you're between the deep and the devil in the deep blue sea, as they say. On the one hand, you don't want inflation, but on the other hand, the 3 possible Fed hikes next year that we saw in the dot plot, that could slow things down. Which way would you like it to go?
Well, I'm glad you teed the question up that way, because the president answered it pretty directly in a speech today. He got into some, I wouldn't even call it economics 101. I might call it economics 202. He talked about precisely this dynamic. You know, you call it wage inflation. We call it wage gains for working people. And it's one of the reasons why, again, the U.S. labor market is so welcoming for people who want to come in, because we see, especially in sectors with strong demand, leisure and hospitality, restaurants, hotels, warehousing, trucking, we have wages that are growing at very solid rates, even beating price growth. And what the president said is what you don't want to do is whack the demand side of the economy. You don't want to make people poorer so that we can reduce demand so it can catch up to the supply imbalance. What you want to do instead is increase the economy's supply side so it can be up to the task of meeting this very strong demand. That's the way you deliver for the American people. We have a two-pronged approach to this. One is very near term, trying to unsnarl some of the supply chains, making sure our firms are as competitive as they should be, helping in the energy markets. And over the longer term, with Building Back Better, make sure that we increase the economy's productive capacity and care, child care and elder care for people who want to make it into the job market.
Jared, if you were on the FOMC, what would your next move be?
That's a great question for me when I wasn't an administration economist, because we try very assiduously to stay out of the Fed's knitting
Right,
in that
right.
kind of a precise way. What I will say is that this Federal Reserve and Chairman Jay Powell have long valued the importance of full employment to accomplish a couple of things. One, to make sure that the economic growth is shared broadly. That's very much in sync with the president's economic values. And two, to pull people in from the sidelines of the labor market. Now, we
Right.
need to see more of that. And that means we're going to have to try to take down some of the labor market barriers faced by some of those sideliners.
You can't blame a man for trying. At least it was.
Understood.
It was worth a go. All right, good. John Matthew, who's the member of the President's Council of Economic Advisors. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend.